Outnumbered Overtime. It is Friday Eve, people. OT, baby. Woo! First timer. Regan is on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
We have to talk because, I mean, did you tweet that out that I'm not approved?
I'm working on it. I want to make sure that I love the photo and that it's going right out.
Thank you. So Melissa is tweeting out that I'm not a prude because this is actually what you said.
Do people say you're a prude?
Well, this is
I have a picture that proves she's a prude.
Our hour.
It may shock you. No one says that about me.
About the president and the judge's ruling on the executive order on travel. Careful, it was crafted carefully as a naked man climbing a barbed wire fence.
Oh, my goodness.
And apparently people thought that because of my reaction, I didn't quite understand the imagery.
You got it.
Oh, maybe you understood it all too well.
Right? I was in shock. And so many of the things that you said this hour are just out there.
Well, good.
Just boom, just drop that mic.
Good.
In the best way possible.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay?
I feel good. It's number 2 being here. And I love being with you ladies. Second time. Yeah, don't say number 2.
You let it fly today. Your freak flag was just all in the wind.
Yeah, I mean, I got to represent. I am the only guy, so I have to, bring the guy talk.
Oh, is that right? Is there like a support group for the hashtag
There really
now?
is. And it was funny when I got back out. People, I told you guys during the break, there were people that said, "Kevin, you need to talk more," and different things. And I'm thinking, no, these are 4 amazing women with insights. No, seriously, even after the first one, because you don't know what to expect when you're just the first guy. I mean, I've seen the show, but the topics differ all the time. So certain people, if it's a very heavily, say for judge, I remember when one that the judge was on, and you're asking a lot of questions that are legal, and he's a judge, so you're going to give him a lot of stuff. Right. But our topics are random. My expertise is sort of generic.
Well, we always have a pop-up breaking element. We had the president, at the U.S. House of Representatives.
So I look at it as, I want to hear what you guys have to say, and when appropriate, we'll respond back. And sometimes it's a little quippy, and other times it's...
sometimes it gets its own meme, apparently. Regan, how would you handicap our hour? What'd you think?
Oh, fantastic. Listen, I watch you guys every day. You have an amazing show, really. So nice. And wonderful chemistry. And I think about, you're coming in. This is the second time you've been on the show. And what it makes this a special place is you're always so welcoming of your guests. And I always learn a tremendous amount. You guys have great insights, and it's a fun show. It really is.
Coming from, by the way, the first woman...
Wow, the producers just said that you can come back. We're waiting for Melissa to say something, too.
Well, I'm trying to get my Harris is not a prude out, and it's got to be perfect. And as I'm looking at the picture, I'm like, maybe she... No.
I have a picture that I will send you. The prude.
All right, it's good. Here we go.
Okay, that just means that she had to apply so much filter on the picture.
No, it's fabulous. Okay.
God bless you.
Yeah, there you go.
Megan, you were saying.
I was trying to say that Trish Regan's the first woman of a 2-women team to moderate a presidential debate, and we should give her props
for that,
which is still something.
Right there.
When I talk about strong women breaking molds, it seriously, when it happened, I think we talked about it on this show. Yeah. I definitely talked about it on my radio show, and you're in history now.
Well, Megan, thank you so much. And Sandra was so great to work with, and listen, we need more women as role models. You guys were talking the other day about all the women that chose not to go to work. And I remember I actually messaged you because it was pretty profound what you were saying. I mean, the reality is, as women, as strong women, we need to be out there. We need to be heard. You need to go to work on a day like that. I think part of your message here, and it's so good, is that you do show the strength of femininity and strong women on the show. I mean, it's 4-to-1, right?
Well, as the guy who can speak to that, being one lucky guy, I will tell you, no, it really is. It is refreshing because when you look at other shows, and I won't say their names, but there's a famous one out there that has 4 women and was moderated by Barbara Walters at one point. But that particular show, you go there and you see the level of vitriol and the fact that it's so... I mean, look, you could say this is one-sided toward conservatism, but I don't believe that. I believe it's one-sided towards the right ideas around these various concepts. And even if the one lucky guy were to be somebody that's a liberal, I believe he would be just as welcomed in here. In the debate.
We've had,
we have liberal guys all the time.
Remember Lanny Davis was on, and he was very liberal.
That's
when we were at the DNC when we were on the road at the convention.
Juan Williams,
I had said, and I tweeted back at this person that I wanted to start with.
Harris now is.
You like my tweet yet, by the way?
I didn't. I want to get to this important one though, because Bill Kaczynski, I think is how you pronounce it, Captain Bill, Said Harris, I'm concerned with the budget cuts to the NIH. It's not an elective to support health research. He's talking about budget. And our conversation at one point said there are some electives out there. Trish, I think you brought it up. And I said, I'm going to grab this tweet for online because there are some budgeting issues. I mean, people are paying attention to this.
Yeah, and, you know, look, this is the reason why Donald Trump, I think, went to the Oval Office in the first place. People are fed up with government as we know it, and part of government as we know it is that it spends and spends and spends money that it doesn't have. You know, you're mortgaging your future here, and so you've got to now take a very hard look at what we need to spend money on. And, you know, unfortunately, the arts are going to suffer. In terms of health, I mean, Harris, why not let that go to the private sector? I mean, companies, they have a lot to gain by investing in health research. Why does the government need to do all that?
A lot of it already is in the private sector, but here's the thing that really gets you. 73% of the budget is fixed in entitlements. Trump's only dealing with 27% of the budget. That should be scary in and of itself, that he can't even touch the bigger part of the budget, which is what we need to be addressing. So when you get into this area here, which you're right, private sector, I mean, there's so many other great ideas, but as far as the budget is concerned, he was right down the line. And is it going to please everybody? Look, National Institute of Health, maybe that's a big deal to some other people, but pharmaceutical companies are working on this, private investors, et cetera. So I think it was a good move.
I'm sorry, the VA should have been. I'm so thrilled with this. It was what he promised on. He brought it up on the campaign trail at almost every stump speech. He's living up to his promise. And, I mean, what happened? Veterans died waiting in line to get health care. There's a picture that went viral last week. I don't know if you guys saw it, of a veteran peeled over in pain in the floor of a North Carolina VA hospital. To say this needs reforming, if we are not a country that will take care of the men and women that fight for us overseas and get their limbs blown off, then we don't really get to call ourselves the greatest country in the world. I'm thrilled.
Spin that music.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy.
Not to mitigate that, but I was glad to see education get cut. It's one of my hot buttons. The fact is, we're not educating our kids. And coming on the heels where he raised the amount of money that was given to HBCUs over...
What do you want to do about those children, though, who are in very poor areas? How do you want them to...
Charters.
Yeah, I mean, and you think? You think that'll do it?
I don't know that
I mean, breakfast programs for those kids. I don't know how much of that money goes into those things, but when you spend time in the areas where kids just don't have a lot of options, then the question becomes who's sensitive to those needs?
Well, I think that, you know, you look at the teachers in a whole, that you have to get deeper into that system.
Yeah, but school has become much more now for our poor in our country. School is like church now. Seriously, these kids come hungry, and I don't mean just for knowledge. So it's a bigger issue.
There's no question, but I mean, you go back to the old frontier days where everybody learned in one building, and it was all the same, all the classes were all together, and they were putting out kids that sent people to the moon with slide rules. And so
that's an excellent point.
Now we've got, you know, we're throwing money at it, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars per student in the urban areas. I don't know what it is in the rural areas, but I went to a rural school, and I came out okay. And I know a lot of other kids did. So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, and that's why federal government needs to get out.
Yeah.
And maybe it is charters, but it certainly shouldn't be at the Fed level.
It needs a closer examination, because you're right, but you ask yourself, where are those dollars going? I mean, when you go and you look at the school and it's falling down, the answer isn't more money. It's where is the money that's coming and where actually going? There needs to be some accountability.
Also, Betsy DeVos probably would have taken over this and said we don't need as much money, because she is the queen of charter schools. It's why so many people in the teachers' unions are going absolutely
You say past tense. You don't think she will?
No, I'm saying that it might have impacted this decision, because she is for charter schools, and it might not have even mattered because she has a completely different perspective on how we should handle education in this country.
So charter schools, at least in New Jersey, many of them are public. So you're not talking about private funding.
No, but you can bring in, but within a charter school, you can bring in private funding. I mean, you can do things and
use them and sponsor them.
True. Yeah, and it just is, it's sort of a... Everybody's invested in the community, and it's something that's like more tailored for this specific community, wherever it is. It just makes a lot more sense.
You get some innovation in there. I can remember going to a charter school up in northern Manhattan, and it was a school that had public on the one side and charter on the other. And you went into the lunchroom, and it was amazing because all the kids, that were in the charter program, they were sitting there, they were happily eating, and the other side was bedlam.
Oh no,
bedlam, and it was a real contrast right there.
That's how it is in my house. The Ben Lamar. We're all Ben Lamar. Husband has his side, and my side is no. So good to have you.
Oh, thanks, Harry.
So good to have you. Shall we roll on out of here? You going to do the 2 p.m. East?
I am. I'm going to go over.
Honey, I am perched.
Have fun.
See ya.
Bye.